A very good morning to all of you. Thank you very much for gracing us with your presence today. We have a very, very full house. We last met, I think, about 3 months ago, if I'm not mistaken, at the Ecocash Zinara toll gate payments launch. And then we gave to you as our customers and agents the Chakachaya promotion, which ran for 3 months. So even though you didn't see us for 3 months and we didn't talk to you, we believe that you won goats, you got cows, you got airtime, and that you are rich and heavy with all of those things that you thoroughly enjoyed as you were transacting on our platform. As you know, at Ecocash, we're always thinking about our customers. We're always thinking about where we have come from, what we are doing today, and what we will be doing tomorrow. And in deliberating around where we have come from, what we are doing today, we always find that our customers keep us on our toes. We always find that our customers continue to remind us that we can do more and more for them. And we always remember that where we started from is least important, but where we are going is of greater importance. And as a result, we always endeavor and strive to have better and bigger. And so this morning, as we speak to you, we unveil yet just another first from Ecocash. And really, this one is truly another first, and not just continuous innovation. You know, this morning I'm super excited because I just don't want to talk about mobile money. Ecocash has now been in the market of Zimbabwe over 5 years, and what we have been doing is mobile money. But at this stage in our business, we're starting to think beyond mobile money. We think mobile money is of yesterday. We came in, we provided the services for mobile money, got the unbanked, banked. When we launched this product and service in 2011, statistics were sitting at about 10% financial inclusion. Today, financial inclusion is sitting at about 70%. And when we look at this, in light of the Portras results that were shared just yesterday, that Ecocash is driving about 98% of the mobile money payments, then of course we've got to challenge ourselves and say, what is the next big thing? If at all, we have done what we need to do. And what we now need to start thinking about is what is beyond mobile money. When we look at our value proposition and we look at our trajectory thus far, the last 3 years have really been about consolidating the market space and making sure that people are able to pay for goods and services in every arena and sector of not only financial services, but of hospitality, of retail services, of agro, of international remittances, whatever you name it. Whatever drives the movement of money and whatever is the economy, our aim has been to make sure that Ecocash is the pivot point of financial services. So we provided the banking services and we almost have every other bank connected, although we still have about 5 more to go, but we'll talk about why even those are inconsequential today and why it doesn't matter anymore, vis-a-vis the innovation that we're about to talk about today. We integrated most of the retail offering partnerships that we have in this country, Food World, the Choppies, and actually notwithstanding the fact that the largest retail distribution value chain partner in the country today, Delta, now accepts Ecocash payments. If you go to a fuel station today, it is not inconceivable that you will pay with Ecocash. When we started Ecocash, in 2011 and even through to 2013, you would never have guessed that people would be using Ecocash for day-to-day payments and goods and services. But even at the time, the central bank, I remember, challenging us to think beyond our borders. And I would just like to take this opportunity, retrospectively, to welcome Mr. Mutefa, who is the Deputy Director of National Payments, and his team who are here. And I didn't start by welcoming them because we feel that they've become a partner. We feel that they are part of the family of Zimbabwe when we talk about mobile money payments. So, sir, welcome with your team, including everybody else who is here this morning. And the central bank challenged us and said, the way that you're looking at this value proposition, you've got to look at it with bigger lens, with bigger hands, with bigger feet, with bigger legs. It's not just about sending money. It is about payments and goods and services. And I'm pleased to say, as we look at this trajectory today, hand on heart, I think we've worked well to address the challenge that they gave to us and say, you can actually do better. And Mr. Mutefa said, what I would like to say is we're running even far ahead of you because we want to do beyond mobile money and beyond mobile payments. That is the kind of stuff that we are thinking about. I just want to take us back in history around the fundamentals of the Ecocash product. The fundamentals of the Ecocash product, or any mobile money product for that matter, is that for you to be able to use it, you need to be able to cash in. You need to be able to deposit funds into your wallet. And so, of course, when we started our journey, it was imperative that people were able to bring their cash and put it into the service. Together with the help of the central bank, because ours are micro payments and micro transacting values, we had the stipulated limits from the Central Bank of Zimbabwe and made sure that because ours were micro payments for the mass market, they were relevant to the people that were transacting on our platform. But as time went on and as we were speaking and looking at the ecosystem, we realized that even the people that were banked actually wanted to put money into their wallet so that they could get money from the cities to the peripheral areas, so that the sponsors could very conveniently get money to their beneficiaries. So we launched what was called the banking services and worked together with the banks so that they could connect onto our platform to ensure that there was easy movement of funds for those people who are typically busy and who didn't have time, perhaps maybe to go and queue up, withdraw money and cash. And I remember that even so at that time, again, the central bank kept saying to us, this cash model that you have is not a model that is sustainable. Now that we've financially included everybody, and now that we're trying to get everybody to at least do some form of electronic banking, you need to start thinking around other means and ways through which people will be able to get their funds into the wallet. And that was fair and square, but that really became true when we witnessed the troubles that we have today with the cash crisis, where cash has become expensive, and it is expensive for any market, for any government, but in particular where we have a liquidity crisis. And we found our customers having a really tough time spending long hours in queues at banks so that they could just withdraw money and put it into their wallets so that they could cash in. And we saw this and it was painful for our customers, and we started thinking around, what does this mean for customers if we're unable to provide a value proposition that is far more adaptable and flexible to the storms that we face in our ever-changing environment? So one of the other things we thought about was international remittances, so that people could receive money easily from their friends and family in the diaspora. We also thought about the payroll service and said to companies, look, make it easier, maybe don't deposit money into a customer's bank account, because sometimes it's difficult for them to link their bank to their wallet. For whatever reason, you know, sometimes the forms go missing in a bank, or sometimes banks have just not been fast enough actually to respond to what are our needs, as and when we need them. And so you find that somebody will go and register for banking services, and 2 weeks later, they're not registered for banking services. So we still have customers that are actually left behind. And of course, the payroll service as well, notwithstanding that, There's some employers who have been slightly slow to adapt and figure out the convenience of mobile money services. But I must say, with the cash crisis, we have seen more and more employers coming through and moving with us on our customer wallet funding journey. However, the challenges have been far bigger than what we have been able to put here for customers. In the absence of cash, customers have really, really suffered. And as we're thinking about the future of mobile money, the future of our business in the absence of cash, our team got around and said, look, what does it really mean for us to be a business? We went back to the fundamentals of who we are and realized that when we started Ecocash, actually, it wasn't about Ecocash per se. It was about addressing strategic challenges and making sure that we had strategic solutions for those challenges. For us, agents, friends, family, our peers from the central bank, members from the banking fraternity, Econet Wireless executives that are here with us, you will attest to this. That ours, brothers and sisters, is really the same as what Philippians wrote in his book in chapter 4, verse 8. And he said, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, whatever is excellent, whatever is disruptible, whatever is praiseworthy, these are the things that you should spend your time thinking about. So we said to ourselves, welcome cash crisis. We have, by the way, the largest mobile money service in this country. And yes, by June we had over 6.8 million customers tax in. Although I saw an article today that says, well, Ecocash lied about their numbers. Why would they do that? When we provide numbers to Portraz, we provide what are called A1 active numbers, and that is the number of customers that are active per 30 days. These are over the 3 million customers that were reported yesterday. We do not provide the number of fully active or not on the things that are not noble. We belabor not on the things that are not admirable. We have chosen in this cash crisis to spend our time not thinking about the absence of cash, but to spend our time thinking about the excellent things that we can do, about how, instead, we can protect our agent network so that our agents do not wake up and say, in the absence of cash, we're not able to purchase float, but we want our business to be able to continue. And the things that we have been thinking about, that we want to unveil this morning, are about how we will also be protecting our agent network over and above providing customer convenience. What we will be unveiling to you this morning as I present is beyond the disruption of mobile money that we shared with you. We today are beyond mobile money. We are in the business of disrupting ourselves. I was speaking to my boss earlier, Mr. Darlington Mandivenga, who is in South Africa, and I said, what is it that we are doing these days? And he said, we're about the now things. We are not about the yesterday things. So as I stand here this morning, I want to talk to you about what are the now things that are beyond the typical Ecocash value proposition that you are seeing on this slide, where you've been used to paying for goods and services, transferring your funds from bank to wallet, receiving money from the diaspora, paying bills, sending money, buying airtime, P2P, all of which are well and good. But really, we want to be talking about what are the now things. The now things, if you're in this market today, there's no cash. Those are the now things, all right? Everybody has gone electronic. Everybody is going plastic. Do we wake up and say mobile money is irrelevant because of the now things, because of the no challenges? No. We say we're going to be about the now things. The now things for us, bank queues. You will hear of most banks. I was looking at the news yesterday locally that are having system challenges, which is also because of the growth largely that most financial services institutions are facing. And of course, it is inconceivable that they would have to recapacitate. So this is a challenge for the whole of the financial services system, for the whole of the financial services sector. We talk about the perception of expensiveness, we talk about the availability of agent networks, we talk about laggards, people who thought cash would always be the answer, and that cash would always be king. We also talk about some banks that are not linked to Ecocash. We talk largely today about there's no cash. These are the now things. And so, really in response to the now things, what we are unveiling to you is what is called Swipe into Ecocash.
Ecocash has got brand spanking news for you. Now you can conveniently move your money from your bank into your Ecocash wallet by simply swiping your ZimSwitch enabled card at any outlet with a Stewart Bank point of sale machine. Once your money is in your wallet, you can immediately start transacting. It's simple, safe and secure. This service is available at over 5,000 outlets nationwide. Live life the Ecocash way.
And I hope that this morning it is true testament that Ecocash, in spite of being a ubiquitous value proposition, is also a very, very responsible market leader. I remember having discussions again at the central bank, because we talk a lot, and our peers there encouraging us to say, how can we interoperate more and more? And this morning, as we launch Swipe into Ecocash, not only have we enabled anybody with a bank card and is registered onto Ecocash who does not yet have, perhaps, their banking services, who may not be linked onto Ecocash, or customers that are linked to Ecocash, but their banking services are not active, or customers with banks that are linked to Ecocash but have not yet registered. Or actually, you might be a Barclays Bank customer. You might be a Standard Chartered customer. The banks that are laggards that haven't connected to Ecocash as quickly as we would have hoped that they would. Mr. Mtefa said, we have interoperated. Our customers, in spite of integration at core-to-core level, because of our connectivity into the ZimSwitch platform, it means that with Swipe into Ecocash, if you have any card in Zimbabwe that is ZimSwitch enabled and you're from any bank, you are welcome to swipe your funds into Ecocash. And I know our customers have been saying, and if I have my ZimSwitch card and my ZimSwitch this, here we are. We have connected on all cards that are ZimSwitch enabled. You can move your funds from your card onto your wallet by simply visiting an agent who has got a POS machine. So what are the steps? In partnership with Stewart Bank, who have the largest network of POS distribution in the country, because we really wanted to drive scalability, and we will be adding other banks, but as we go to market, we have partnered with Stewart Bank to say on any of the Stewart Bank POS machines to begin with, all you simply have to do as a customer is get, from today, and overnight we've just added 5,000 more and plus growing retail outlets from which you will be able to go as a customer and select as a customer the Swipe into Ecocash option, and you tell your agent or retail network about it, and the customer will enter their MSISDN number so that the funds can go into their wallet. The customer will be prompted, just as they would be paying for a good and service at retail point of sale for their bank PIN number, and the customer will confirm the payment, the identity, just as you do on Ecocash mobile money services, is confirmed on the POS machine that it is you who is cashing in, and you show proof of your ID at the retail point of sale, and the payment is authorized, and you walk away with a slip and also a notification, just you would if you had cashed in, that says your funds are in your wallet. And so, go ahead now, swipe in to Ecocash. The benefits for us really and the things that we have been thinking about is honestly to deepen electronic transactions in line with the agenda of the national payments under the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. You have had the governor recently saying that we are striving to become a cash-light and a cashless society. So in line with those parameters of the Central Bank of Zimbabwe that governs us, we're on course, we're on point, and fully regulated and in line with the frameworks. But also, we really have been thinking about sustainability. You will see this pin that I'm wearing, which is an SDG pin, Sustainable Development Goals, thinking also not just about what we want to do here in Zimbabwe, but prescribing to what the work that the United Nations is doing, talking about the 16 goals as to how we can bring people closer and better and fairer. And one of the SDG goals challenges us as a company to say, how do we make the ease of business better and how do we drive and grow entrepreneurs? We have a full house today because our agents are in the house. Hands up to all of you who are agents today. Half of the house that is sitting in here today is highly likely Ecocash agents. And it's important to us, if we've been thinking about the interconnectedness of this journey, that we also think about what it means for our agents. Lately, in the absence of cash, it means that an agent has got to be able to go and find float. It means that an agent has got to be able to go and find cash so that they can run their business. And for us, that has been something we've been thinking about, that has been losing us sleep to say, in the absence of cash, how does the agent survive? With swipe into Ecocash, an agent no longer needs float to run the Ecocash business. Overnight, we have cut down the cost of capital in doing business. Now, I don't know anybody in Zimbabwe who would be offered a business opportunity that does not require any money at all for you to start it, but only requires a POS machine and requires you simply to serve your customers and you earn commissions. This is beyond mobile money. Amaleboza. Kana vamwe vachitaura vanenge vachitoti pakaipa. But ichi chakachaya ichi, chakanyanya. It's beyond that. So to our agents, we have cut down on your cost of doing business. You no longer need to invest any money upfront with Ecocash to be with us. We know that some of you are retailers and you've been facing a really difficult time in what we call the return on investment on conflict. My fellow banker at Stewart Bank yesterday was schooling me and telling me that that's what it's called, Mr. Tapera there. And he said, you know, the difficulty that our agents have as hard-pressed, hard-working entrepreneurs is that the cash that they have from people that they need for goods and services to be able to buy wares and to bring them into the shop is the same flow that they actually have to use for customers. How do we bridge this gap for our customers to ensure that there is no return on conflict and that they limit the growth of their business because now they're split? They just have $100 in the absence of cash and they don't know whether the $100 should go to their retail business or whether they should shut down Ecocash, whether it should be with Ecocash or whether they should continue their retail business. We say diverse streams of income. Do everything that you can do plus Ecocash, but with the Ecocash business, we want nothing from you. We simply want to give you business. We want to make sure that you reach our over 6.8 million customers active over every 90 days. And so this is the value proposition that comes with the swipe in for you. Added convenience, of course, for our customers. We want to give them all the alternatives that they want. And if your bank is slow and sloppy and it says it can't integrate to Ecocash, we get you on, we ping you on, just swipe on Ecocash. We will not leave you behind. We will make sure that we financially include everybody as we are working towards the sustainable development goals and making sure that Zimbabwe and Africa is a part and parcel of becoming world-class wherever we are. We want to create flexibility for customer choice. I think I've already spoken and, demonstrated that. And so in my closing and my parting remarks, it truly is hooray, convenience for all. Hash, the buzzword for today is hash, just swipe into Ecocash. And just before I probably go into the campaign, I think it's important also for me to really share some of the inspiration we continue to have. I think Mr. Owen Takadi here was saying, in the next 30 days, we will be with you here again, talking about the now things, the now things. Mr. Mtepa said, when we come to the central bank, we want you to remind us, what are the now things? That's what we're about, beyond mobile money. We don't want you to ask us what we did yesterday, where that's late in the game. We're talking about the now things, we're talking fintech, we're talking really moving forward. And when I think about our Ecocash journey, what it really reminds me of is it reminds me of somebody who was trying to build a temple. And his name was Solomon, and he had inherited a dream from his father, who had promised God that he was going to build a temple. And his father, and God said to his father David, you will not. I will have somebody else build the temple for you. And you know, the analogy really strikes me and really inspires me, because traditionally banks have been the people who are supposed to build the financial services sector. But as it were, a new prophet in technology comes through and says, there can also be new kids on the block, and they can rebuild the temple. And I want to read from 2 Chronicles chapter 4, and Solomon says, beyond his father's dreams. And Solomon says, as he was furnishing the temple and also building in part, he made a bronze altar 30 feet long, 30 feet wide, 15 feet high, and he called it a sea. And it was 7.5 feet deep, about 45 feet in circumference. It was encircled below the rim. 2 rows of figures that resembled oxen. There were about 6 oxen per feet all the way around. And he said that he also made the walls that were as tall as 50 cubits high, etc., and whatever. And it really reminds us about the chronology and methodology on which we have built our business. It started as cashing, it started as banking services, it started as payroll, remittances, swiping, etc., whatever. But when he came to the conclusion of it all after rebuilding the temple, he prescribed the temple as this. That is 21, 2 Chronicles chapter 4. It was ubiquitous. Boy, it was like a flower. Lady, it was like a lamp. Tongs of all purest gold. The lamp snufflers, the bowls, the dishes, the incense burners. Of all solid gold, the doors of the entrances to the most holy place, the main room to the temple, overlaid with gold. When we think about the now things, whatsoever things are wonderful, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are great, no matter how tough and difficult it is in Zimbabwe, we know that we have a temple to build. We know that we have a work to do. We know that we have a country to change fast in our role in financial services, and also a continent to connect with and the world to connect with and disrupt fast. So we don't spend our time thinking about the things that are not true. We want to spend more of our time collaborating, working for you, aligning with the agenda of the Central Bank of Zimbabwe, of the Ministry of Finance, to make sure that we deliver the all good convenience that we have talked about. And so here, in our now things, as we think about the things that are ever so wonderful and the things that are so good, this is what you will come across in the market as we're launching this product and service. Your card holds the convenience. Just swipe into Ecocash as long as it is a ZIM switch enabled card. Just swipe into Ecocash. Now you can conveniently swipe into Ecocash using your bank card at any of our outlets on a Steward Bank POS machine. It's simple and secure. All bank cards can now swipe into Ecocash. And also to our agents, we want to let you know that we, in our partnership with Steward Bank, will ensure that you get a POS machine for free for you to be able to adapt onto the flexibility of our business model. You will also have the opportunity to hear from our colleagues later on when they speak. I shall not belabor the point and take too much of your time, but thank you so much for gracing us with your presence this morning, for your ever continued support I know that we have the media here in the house. Thank you for your continued support. I know that we're value chain partner merchants. Welcome to the Ecocash business. We had never offered the Ecocash mobile money business to merchants, and now they come in with about 5,000 plus, again I repeat, added over a day today, collaborating with us to offer added convenience to the customers who have so loyally supported us here at Ecocash. We do not take that for granted. We don't take for granted your support. We do not take for granted your support this far. Actually, we have come with you because you have adopted without questioning, and you have continued to believe in us that we can deliver beyond the yesterday things, and that for you we can do what are the now things, and we can do beyond mobile money. My encouragement to you is watch this space. Ecocash is here to stay and deliver. Thank you.
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.